So what's involved in taking your Power BI report to look like this and change it to look like this? I'll show you the clicks. Let's go. So the key here is going to be these error bars. And I've also sorted this visual to display by the actual variance from plan, which is another little trick I'll show you. And let's just move this over here and move this over here, just so that I don't have to zoom back and forth and we can just focus on this formatting panel on the side. And just to get this back to where it was originally, I'll sort the axis by fees and I'll sort it in a descending order. Okay, so here we go. Let's change this visual to match that one on the left. So firstly, I am going to get rid of fees planned. Okay, you can then double click on the visual, you can right click on the bar, and you can choose a different color. Let's go with this sort of dark blue here. All right, and then let's get into the proper stuff, the error bars. Here we go. So error bar settings. We want to add, and actually you can do upper bound or lower bound. This one works with lower bound. We add a measure. I've already got one called fees planned, which is just the sum of the planned fees. Now it looks like nothing happened, which it hasn't, because weirdly it's off. Even though you just added something, it's off by default. So there we go, it's on. And then I can go down to the bar and I can change the bar color to a light blue. You can change the marker shape to a circle, make it the border a bit wider, make it narrower, make the width wider. So you can have all these sorts of options here, change the marker size to a little bit bigger. I'm going to change the width to 1 on here, and you can just play around until you find a color that you like the look of. Okay, and then you can add the error label. So error label on, and I'd like the error label to, match the color. And maybe I want to have the background, and the background will be a light color as well. And you can make it 0% transparent. So there's your marker labels, all right? So for my labels here, I'm going to go back to my bars. This is to do with the actual bars themselves, so the data labels. So I'm going to come up to data labels, turn those on, put them inside the base. Okay, so we've now got them inside the base, and again, background on. I am going to change the background to white, make it 0% transparent, and actually make the value in here black. Okay, so there's my values. And then I want to add the variances. So within the value section, there is a detail section. So you turn that on, and I want to add, from my measures, the difference. Okay, and again, the color of this, I could make it gray, right? But you can use the FX button, and I've already got some conditional formatting set up called conditional formatting for difference. I just want to make it the field value and click OK. And now I've got green and reds. So what have I done there, just to make sure you know what I'm doing? So the difference, the actual number itself, this is the measure. And I formatted it like this, with a plus for the positives and a minus for the negatives. That's what that little formatting option looks like. And then the conditional formatting difference is just this little formula. Okay. So if it's less than 0, that's the hex code for red, and this is the hex code for green. And there we go. Right, then I want to sort this by the difference. So the way you do that, because you can't go to the three dots and you can't say sort by, there's no difference here. So the weird little hack is that you can actually add down the bottom here a tooltip. So add data, and you can add the tooltip for the difference. All right, and all that does is show up when you hover over a visual. Sorry, let's click away here. So when you hover over, it shows up in the tooltip. There's the difference at the bottom. But the nice thing about that is you can also use it to sort by the difference. And I want to sort it maybe descending, sort axis, or ascending. There we go. So that's the biggest negative variance that I want to come first. And the rest of it is just really color choices and you playing around with it. Again, double click on here. You don't need this axis. Right click delete. You don't need the word fees. Right click delete. All right. You don't need the word name. And then the heading can be important. So this is, actual fees, and then you tell the user that it's sorted by difference to plan. And then you can add a subtitle. Okay. This heading, I might make a particular color. So the title can be that dark blue, so people associate with it. And then you go to subtitle, and you make the subtitle the same color as the sort of plan figure that you used. And you can call that, V plan. It saves sort of having a legend. And again, make it bold or something. And you can even put a little divider in there. You can make that divider a little bit less grey. So you've got all sorts of options like this, okay? In terms of, I just did some background formatting. The divider in this visual, I actually made white and a bit thicker. And then I applied a background color of a different shade. And you can even copy using the format painter, paste on here, to get a similar look and feel. You could even save that, as part of your template file. And then the last one, let's just do these cards. Okay, so rather than the old card visual, let me put it over here. I'll just put this one over here. So we're going to change it to the new card. And the nice thing about the new card is you can also add the planned and the difference. So all three are now added. And I don't need them to be that big. So rather than clicking on one at a time, I'm going to go to call out values and make them say 16. All right, and then down here, the labels can be size maybe 10 or a bit smaller. So there's my nice layout there. And let's just collapse all these, right click, collapse all categories, because it gets a little bit messy. And we can just change the actual sort of layout is already a row, so that's fine. But maybe I want to change the cards, and you can change the shape of the cards to snipped, which does the corners. But maybe I want to customize it. So the top, so rather than snipped, we'll make it rounded and customized. And the top left is going to be 11, and the top right is going to be 11 as well. So that puts a bit of curve on it. And you can just play about with the settings. Again, change the background color. You can change the individual colors. Okay, so back up here, if I go to call out values, apply settings to fees planned, you can then make the actual color that blue. All right, so here we go, there's the blue. And you can make the difference conditionally formatted. So we could go difference is based on the FX, which is the field value, which is the conditional formatting difference. And you can also add a nice little underscore type thing to the card visual. What you have to do is come back up here to cards and apply to the difference. Only apply this to the difference. Accent bar on. position at the bottom, FX, okay, here we go, field value, my measures, CF difference, and there's the colour, and you can make that a bit thicker depending on what you want to do. So there we go, there's some suggestions about how to get this displaying in a different way. If you want to take this to a sort of another level, then Injae Park has got a really good one, really good video. I'll put a link below showing how to do sort of colour bars. It's a real nice way of showing the differences against your plan. I'll hopefully get around to doing a video on this as well, but go watch Injae's first, okay? Hope you find that useful. And before you go, you might want to click the button to subscribe or check out one of the playlists or videos. Thanks for watching.